Kyle Busch on the outside, Ty Majeski on the inside, Gio Ruggiero, Caden Honeycutt, the first 2 rows. Green flag is in the air. We are racing at the Monster.
You know, the racetrack right now is a little bit in a different shape than what it's going to be because, you know, we just finished with the Cup rubber and the racetrack actually got pretty wide in practice. So I'm pretty sure that these guys are going to learn a lot of what the racetrack has right now and trying to adapt towards, you know, later, the racers later in the race.
I think something that we have in common, Daniel, as a fan, I'm a fan of this deal. I watch it every weekend. And as a driver, you like when you can spread out. You can run high, you can run low. We've got multiple groups, and you saw that on lap 1. They're already all over the place.
No, you can see, you know, NASCAR and the racetrack here, they did an amazing job cleaning the racetrack and using the Tire Dragon to have the racetrack ready quicker. And for us in the Cup practice, I mean, we were already in the second and third lane in our second stint of tires. So these guys are going to be running in the third lane very soon here. And look at my amigo Clint, he's already going at it.
Running just outside the top 20.
Still there.
Watch him work that wheel. Everybody has a different form, but you can see a little loose there on the bottom as he battles that wheel.
Look how rough it is. Head bobbing around. He's battling the truck and those around him. Back in 22nd, just gave up a spot. As we take a look at Bowyer right now on track, just lost 1 spot since the start of this race, and he even had a little contact here with Luke Baldwin.
Tries to fill a hole, and Baldwin says, "Not so quick, young man."
Oh, yeah, you know, Clint Bowyer is doing a great job, to be honest. You know, like he's doing a good job, and he just racing with experience. And I wouldn't be surprised if he actually goes towards the front as the race goes on.
I think so too. I think the long haul is going to be Clint's friend. He knows how to get it done here.
Hearing Daniel Hemrick is slow, brought it down pit road. He was 11th at the time, and he's just creeping, barely under power here on pit road.
I'd say no power, just rolling to a stop. That has every look of an engine issue, electrical at least.
All right, Kyle Busch continues out front, but Clint Bowyer barely hanging on. He was the next to go a lap down. Destiny Spurlock into the wall, and we get our first caution of this one.
He got loose and just overcorrected and lost it.
Oh man, she fought that thing, didn't she, Daniel?
Man, she was, I mean, she almost saved it.
Yes.
Almost saved it. It seems to me that the 44 truck of my amigo paisano, Mexicano, he packed a little bit of air and then she got loose. And I mean, it was so close of saving that truck. What a shame.
That's just all the learning that goes on. And if you're ever going to try to save one anywhere in America, Dover might be the toughest place to do so. Did you see how much banking are on those straightaways?
It's so difficult, Michael. Pits are open. Let's see what these guys do right here.
Snug on exit, Kyle Busch off to the races.
And off pit road second, Caden Honeycutt was able to best Kyle on pit road. And these guys are going to come up behind some trucks that stayed out.
Those are the 2, Michael, that stayed out there. All the guys behind him immediately, those pitted. Caden Honeycutt, of course, you see him on there, will drop to the rear.
Let me just tell you,
penalty.
Those 2 aren't going to win this stage.
Carson Hosevar pushing the issue. Are they 4 wide at Dover?
Oh, me.
They tried. They were there for a second. Oh,
look at this mess.
There's still 3 wide all over this track. The 12 of Brendan Butterbean.
Brendan couldn't hang on, but Cole Butcher did a nice job hanging in there for a bit.
Look at that. Stage 1 results took him no time at all. Kyle Busch. We listened in to Kyle Busch, the leader.
Felt like I was just a little bit slow to fire. Air pressure wise, just didn't quite have the stick that I needed. Took like 2 laps to come in. Now it's back to just kind of slide the front tires again, center off. Entry's fine.
Well, he's dominated. He's led 70 laps. He's leading now, but the truck isn't perfect. Daniel, are you guys ever 100% happy?
You never, you know, because if you're 100% happy, then you have to push your car or truck to harder, you know, a little bit harder and make it do something. But, you know, Kyle here right now, he's being proactive. What do I mean with that? You know, every single truck is trying to make adjustments, trying to make improvements to try to catch him. And the last thing he wants is to stay comfortable and then someone else to make an adjustment for a stage 3 and get a little bit better than him. So he has to always try to look what are the weaknesses of his truck or car to be able to continue to get better.
There he is.
Caden Honeycutt. Daniel said this truck is into the top 10. Last time by, he was faster than the leaders.
Yeah, I think the leaders are also a little bit in traffic, but still, like, his truck is fast. And I believe that if he gets the track position back, I think he's gonna be a contender up front with the 7 and the 45.
This is an
Cole
unscheduled
Butcher,
stop.
look
We
how much
talked about
damage he has, Michael, on the right side.
we talked about him having trouble week in, week out, and looks like he swung a little wide and hung that 13 truck into the fence.
Yeah,
Great first stage, and now he's gotten a wreck again.
I think he's gonna be okay here on exit.
Yes, he is.
Final lap, and it's not enough. Kyle Busch hangs on.
Wow, that was close.
Well, trouble for our man, Clint Boyer. Right at the end of that stage, slides up the track, gets a little sideways.
Whoa.
He hangs on.
He wasn't happy.
You know, Daniel, you said something really interesting earlier. You said Kyle Busch was fast, but he had that track position. If he loses it, what's his truck going to be like? We're getting ready to find out.
We are ready to find out. And you know, the 45 of Rocha Sting was actually pretty good, especially in the long run. So now we're going to see, you know, how good is the 45 with the track position and how good is the 7.
But he's marred in traffic. Let's see if he has to rough up the 38. He doesn't mind roughing people up. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, Daniel.
He's had damage from a couple other trucks throughout this race, and add that to the list.
I was, whoa.
You didn't like that.
Well, I would say this. What happened there is that the 38 scratched the wall on exit. And the 77 was gauging himself to a left rear of the 38, and then, you know, they made contact, but it wasn't fault of the 77.
More trouble for Carson Hocevar. He had to pit from 14th. More damage. The right front of the truck now. We're being told he had a flat right front tire. You see him trying to knock that out. We'll see what happened here that took him essentially out and down to pit road.
Yeah, he had an issue earlier, and this is just the end of it, making his way to pit road. And
Caution is out.
Caution.
That's Luke Baldwin in the 2. Saw him in his battles with Clint Boyer all race long. That's a big hit.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
See what goes down. Racing against the 12 of Butterbean Queen. Just got loose and didn't want to use Butterbean up. That's so tough. Such a tough position to find yourself in. That's not so bad, but I'm afraid it's going to go down and hit that inside wall. This track just sweeps you down to the bottom once you have contact.
Well, at least it wasn't with our amigo Clint. It was with his teammate.
Yes. He spent a lot of time with our amigo Clint.
He has spent a lot of time with those Rams, for
yes,
sure.
Yes, he has. Look at Ty Majeski wrapping that outside. Oh, into the wall. That was Brandon Jones in that one truck. He caught the wall off turn 2.
Christopher Bell on the march forward in the 62, that bright blue truck, in 6th right now. Caden Honeycutt there on the inside of Brandon Jones.
This is actually very interesting, you know, because the tires of the 45 truck are actually holding on pretty good. So I'm asking to myself, how many laps, you know, it would be the perfect scenario for the 45 to get a caution? Because if we get a caution in 20 laps, he's going to have the same advantage that the 7 has on him right now, and he's going to have horrible track position.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to get that back. So it's going to be very interesting right now to learn how long it's going to take the 7 or the tires to overcome the older tires of the 45.
It's not a great scenario. Even though Ross is able to hold the lead, it's not great for him because he's got another stop for fuel that he's got to make.
So Brandon Jones in the 1, back in 8th right now. Let's take a look at him bouncing off the wall.
Wow. Oh.
And around goes Mini Tyrell.
Well, what do you do if you're Chastain? I mean, you have to stay out because it's too early.
Caution comes out for the 5th time.
Not Clint Boyer wasn't involved in this, was he?
Oh my God, our amigo, I think.
Boyer in the 25. Making it 3 wide.
Oh, and the 14 just got loose. That wasn't Boyer's fault. That just hard 3 wide racing. Boyer saw an opening and he went for it. Anybody's going to take that hole, aren't they, Daniel?
Totally. Anyone will take the hole, especially because Boyer knows that the 42 truck, the white truck, he's with old tires. So he had to, you know, fill up the gap.
It was actually Chastain got their last win at Darlington back in 2024. Last time we saw a watermelon splash and splattered all over the racetrack in the Truck Series.
Well, he's about to get past right here.
Here we go, Kyle Busch. To the inside of Ross Chastain.
Ross is just so good on that high line.
Can't clear him. Nose to nose.
Oh, he dove it in there, didn't he?
He sure did.
Bumper.
Clear.
Clear for Kyle Busch. Back out front.
That's going to make this pit stop a little bit more palatable for Ross Chastain. I'm not leading and pitting from there.
Yeah, no, it's going to be tough for him.
Caden Honeycutt took opportunity to make that pit stop when all the leaders came in aside from Ross Chastain. Well, the radio to him was that we may be 4 laps short on fuel. About 20 laps ago now, they did tell him, restrict this truck. Do not push it until we get 20 more laps. So I'm assuming Caden's going to start taking off now with what he's got with that truck. And on the case of Ross Chastain, I talked to Phil Gould. He said they are 25 laps short on fuel. So if they don't get the caution, Ross will definitely be coming in before then.
They tried to play a strategy card that did not work. The whole field came behind them. Get that hand out the window, get down to pit road speed. See how Clint gets to pit road. You talked about your brain.
Whoa.
Let's not talk about Clint's brain. I think we'd all get confused.
Roll the bottom lane inside. Clear.
That was a big moment for Bowyer.
Come apart.
They just told Bowyer on the radio he is done. You see it right there.
Oh, man, what a shame. He was doing such a good job. I'm very, very proud of Clint. He was doing such a good job.
Busch won earlier this season at Atlanta. Runs part-time.
I think that there are a couple trucks that are slowing down a lot, or they're running out of fuel because...
Is that... Oh, every time I see this 7 truck, he looks like he's off the pace, but he's hanging in there.
Final lap of the race. 2.5-second lead over Ty Majeski. We haven't raced here in 6 years, and some things just seem to not change. Kyle Busch.
He's good at this.
Back behind the wheel. He knows all about getting to victory lane. Here he comes off of turn number 4. Kyle Busch wins at Dover for the 5th time in his career.
All right. Yeah, baby.
That's awesome. Very good,
job, team. Way to go.
Very good for Spider
Thank you,
Motorsports. HenryCars.com.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you enjoyed what you just watched, well, you can get a whole lot more. Yes, it's time to bring the action and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel. You get all the news, highlights, reviews, the whole lot. So go for it.